All right guys, let's talk about the 3 hacks, the 3 tips that you need to know to do bigger land flips. I'm talking about land deals that net you 25, 45, 50K, 100K, 200K per land flip. There's 3 really simple strategies you can implement in your land investing business today that are gonna help get you on track to doing bigger deals. Hey guys, this is Sumner from landinvestor.co. Thank you so much for tuning in. We make videos teaching folks how to scale 6 and 7 figure land investing businesses. We got tons of resources for you guys down below in the description. Be sure to check those out. So 2022 has been a really fascinating year for our business because we went from a model of mainly doing high volume, lower ticket owner finance properties. We scaled up to a portfolio that's doing about 25K a month in recurring revenue from owner finance properties. And then we were doing about anywhere from 20 to 40K a month profit from cash flips. Those were mainly smaller properties that we were flipping and making 5K, maybe 10K profit on them. And then this year we went lower volumes. This year we'll end up around 120 sales or so for our business. But we've gone up market. We're going after higher quality properties, higher ticket properties. And there's been some really interesting insights that I've gathered along the last year in terms of kind of doing a 180 in my business and what it actually took to scale up to start doing deals that were netting us big money every flip. We actually just closed on a deal that made us $79,000 in one go. And what I've learned is really anyone can do these deals. And in fact, folks that are just getting started still have access to do these deals. There's just a few subtle tweaks you need to implement. So let's dive into them. All right, so point number 1 is a very fascinating one because some of the best answers in life are glaringly obvious. And when folks are coming into a program that have been land investing for a few months prior or even a few years prior, and they want to start scaling up and doing bigger deals, I see this odd disconnect where they're not going after markets where that's even a potentiality for them to do bigger deals. The thing is, you need to figure out, does the market have supply or land that would allow me to do bigger deals? The reality is going and netting 79 grand on a flip or 100 grand on a flip rarely is going to shake out like, hey, I bought a property for 20K and I sold it for 120K. Typically that deal is going to look more like, hey, I bought this property for 110,000 and sold it for 200,000 or maybe 210,000. Typically your returns are going to be compressed from a percentage standpoint once you start scaling up and doing bigger deals. And so if you're working in a market where properties aren't selling for 100 grand, 200 grand, 300 grand, 500 grand, it's going to be very unlikely that you even have the ability to do bigger flips because you have to remember the returns are going to be compressed. So if you've been doing small deals and you're used to seeing 300%, 500% returns, you need to shift your mindset and understand that's very, very rare that's ever going to happen on these larger properties in terms of a dollar standpoint. And so what you need to do is go up market and find markets where properties are selling at a higher ticket and then start going after those properties. So if you've been working in markets where 5% or 10% of the sales are 6 figures and above, go to markets where 80 or 70% of the sales are 6 figures and above. You're gonna have a much higher chance of doing deals that net you more. And just remember that your returns are gonna be less, but that's okay. All things being equal in this business, big deal, small deal take about the same amount of time. And so what we're really looking at here is how can we get the most value out of our time in this business? It's not really about the returns, right? The second point is you need to market more. It's actually unbelievable how much more marketing you need to be doing. And mainly what we're talking about here is direct mail in order to get these deals locked up. So think about it like this. When you're going after these bigger deals, you've got a more sophisticated owner. There's more intrinsic value to these properties. They might even be using them on the regular, but ultimately at the end of the day, they have a really good grasp on what these properties are worth. And as a byproduct of this, the amount of mail that you need to send to land a deal is going to go up. For these higher ticket deals, it's not uncommon to have a 2,500 to 1 deal yield where you have to send 2,500 letters to get one of these larger deals that nets you 20K, 40K, 50K, whatever it may be. And if we're talking about deals that net you 6 figures and beyond, it could be well over 10,000 letters per deal. I don't have the exact averages on that because our deals are typically a little bit less than that in terms of what we're netting. Now, the reality is that might sound like a lot of mail, and to most folks it is, but we need to look at it from a standpoint of ROAS, return on ad spend, right? If we send 2,500 letters, let's just say, conservatively, we're gonna spend $1,400, $1,500 with data and with mail cost. If that can go and net us 20, 30, 50K, worth it every single day, all day long. Even if that deal nets us 10K, which is radically unlikely that you're gonna get a yield that's that poor in terms of what you're spending on your ad spend versus what you're getting in terms of gross margin for your business, that's still not a bad deal. And so you need to reframe from some of the conditioning that's been taught in this industry, where folks think that sending 2,500 letters a month is enough. Reframe to being like, hey, I might need to send 2,500 letters to land a quality deal that actually makes an impact in my business. And the third point is nurturing your leads. Bigger deals typically have longer sales cycles, and that's totally okay. You just need to understand how to nurture these leads and how to give them enough time to come to a decision. You know, if you're doing a small 1 acre kind of desert square out in the middle of nowhere, those are usually same day transactions. The person, you know, they might reach out inbound to you, they say, I have a few questions, you answer their questions, they say, great, where do I sign? I'm ready to go. With these bigger deals, there's obviously more money on the line, so there's just gonna be a little more thought that goes into it. There could be more decision makers. Sometimes these are held in a trust, or there's multiple people on title, or it's under an LLC, and so you have multiple decision makers that you might need to get in contact with, or you might need, you know, your point of contact to go and speak with them and get them to the finish line. And there's ultimately just more consideration that goes into these deals, and that's okay. But what you don't want to do is be pushy or just try to go for the close immediately. You want to nurture these leads, and in some cases, it's worth going above and beyond. I've sent handwritten drawings and handwritten notes and gifts and anything that I can do to make myself stand out and be a cut above the rest, I believe is worth doing. If you know that there's a high likelihood that you could go and net 50K on a deal, why would you not work a little bit harder to get that deal done? So I think getting comfortable with the fact that these sales cycles, they're gonna be longer, getting comfortable with the fact that you should be trying to go above and beyond, really give them a wow experience. At this point, for these sellers, it's typically not just about money, right? It's about the ease of the transaction. It's about the rapport that they might build with you. And so you want to be doubling down on these points. It's not just about trying to come to a price. Price is important, but it's not the only variable here. So take some time to go above and beyond. Take some time to get familiar with what the sales cycle might look like when working with these higher ticket sellers. And ultimately, the best way to do this is just start marketing, start mailing, start finding these markets, start getting out there. Stop sitting on the couch and conceptualizing this. Get out there and start getting your hands dirty, and you will certainly start to figure it out. If you guys are looking to shortcut that process, you might be interested in checking out our Land Investing Accelerator program. The link is down below for this. This is a program that's not only built to teach you the technicalities or the actual fundamentals of investing in land and flipping raw land, but also how do you build a 6 and 7 figure business on top of that skill set. You see, those 2 points are wildly different, and when you can marry those concepts together, you can have more impact, make more money, and ultimately have your time back. And that's really what we're going after here, is how can we build a business that gives us freedom, gives us autonomy over how we spend our time. So something I'm super passionate about. Prices are going up on the program December 1st. So if you've been interested, now's the time to go and check it out. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you liked this video. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.